And I almost feel guilty for what I just experienced that no one got to see on camera. It was one of the coolest things just happened. And I thought, why was that not caught on camera? And maybe not really cool to everyone, but to me it was really cool. I got visited by a bird that's one of the most shy birds around. They're usually super timid and stay away from people. It was a green heron. Possibly the same green heron that's been hanging around here since I came around. That same green heron that built a nest over the little passageway over there in the tree just came over and sat on my canoe and hung out with me. Not to catch fish. He wasn't looking for fish really. He just came over chilling, like right there on the rail, turning his head and looking at me, just like I was, I don't know, I was reading something. And he can hear my voice, so he comes over just checking me out. You know, he knows I'm here. And like I said, he's just gotten to the point where he just kind of like goes around me and does his fishing and pretends I'm not here. But yeah, I don't know, it's just for one of the more timid birds, it's not even unusual for me to be, you know, visited and treated to like friendly bird encounters. It's just, that's just one of the more timid of all the birds out there. So for them to come that close and feel comfortable with you, it's like a white crane. You know, if you get a white crane to eat out of your hands, you have to be in a super peaceful mood. Like you have to be in just where they just have to feel so comfortable to get that close to you, and yeah, they're just not gonna do it. Just got engaged. Oh, well, my condolences. There's still time. There's still time for you, Randy. There's still hope. You haven't tied the knot yet. Don't mind me. Don't let me discourage you into whatever crazy, insane idea you're planning on doing right now. I'm mostly just being satirical. But not really. I don't really have a good view on marriage. I think it's kind of okay. Well, holy shit, Randy, you're getting married? You got engaged. You're talking about you talking about getting a rainbow marriage, or you just, oh, I see. Never mind. To a woman? To a woman. Well, good luck to you, man. I wish you all the luck in the world. You're gonna need it. Anyway, yeah, I just got visited by a green heron. He came by and chilled out, stuck his head in, looked under my tarp, was like, "What are you up to, Scott?" Like, he didn't actually say the words, but I could feel that coming from him. Like, he just wanted to come over. Like, he knows I'm here. He's been here longer than me. He's got a couple nests, and he's even got a mate, you know? Like, he's been over here making some eggs lately. I caught him in the act of making eggs with his mate one day. So I know they're, at least trying to make some eggs. So he came over here and checked me out. I was like, they're just a very timid bird, so I thought it was cool. Like, I've been visited. I've had wild birds light on my shoulder. I had one light on my shoulder. I've had a wild bird that I just picked up. Like, I thought he was injured because he was hanging out on the curb off of the side of the street in the little median, and he wasn't hopping away or flying away when I walked by. And I looked real hard at him. He still didn't fly away. So I walked over to him and offered him a finger, and he hopped up on it. And I'm thinking, no way, this has got to be somebody's pet that got loose. And I just like put him up on my shoulder and walked around the beach with him, hoping to run into somebody, or maybe he would, I don't know, man, it was weird. But he just hung out with me for a while, and then eventually decided, well, I got shit to do, and took off. And but you guys have seen, I try to tell people, but they don't believe me, man. You guys have seen how the fish come around. These wild fish get to know me and they become friendly, and the birds get to know me and become friendly. And like, it's no mystery when you see a raccoon come up eating out of my hand. That's obvious that, like, they're coming for the food, and they're just conditioned to people. They're not wild animals. They're domesticated at that point. But this is different. I'm talking like, okay, for example, I was in Oregon visiting my mom, staying there. My brother was in a coma, and I was there for several months. And just, there was a while where I would just walk to the park every day. It was, I don't know, maybe a half a mile up the road. And this one bird was like, just would always be in that roadway, flying back and forth among the trees in that area. And so I start chirping to him. And he chirps back, and I chirp to him, he chirps back, and we kind of get this back and forth going. And after a while, he's there. I notice the same bird every day, every time I go to I started going at the same time, and this bird's showing up at the same time, and he would follow me the entire way from my house to the park. and then back. When I might not even notice where he is when I'm at the park, but as soon as I start heading back home, sure enough, that little bird would be following me all the way home, chirping away, singing back and forth with me. And then one day, he was just kind of buzzing the tower on me, you know, like going by my head fast, swooping down, passing by my head really close to where I could just feel, you know, the wind off his wings as he buzzed my skull, you know. And one day he lighted on my shoulder, not long enough for me really to react, but just long enough to say, "Hey, touchdown." Like he just touched down and took off right away, just to see, you know, hey, are we really friends? You know, he's just checking to see if we're really friends, or if I'd take a swipe at him or whatever, just tentatively saying, hey, you're my human buddy. You know, and I never once fed that bird. Just chattered with him. Had some conversation every day for a while, and he got to liking it. Right around gator time yesterday, I had some human visitors come by with a loud motor, so I didn't get any gators on camera yesterday. I tried. All right, Randy, here's the thing. Raccoons know how to open stuff up. If you say you leave a cast iron skillet out with a heavy lid on it, thinking the raccoons can't get it because it's got this lid on it, no, don't fool yourself. They'll go in there, lift the lid off, eat some food out of it, then put the lid back on and drag the entire pan with the lid away, because they're smart enough to realize that covering it keeps it from other critters getting it. Like, they're really that smart. And when you feed them, they're gonna have a lot more babies, and then they're gonna come to you with their babies expecting you to feed and love and care for and protect them. And you'll notice that little group of 3 or 4 becomes a group of 104 really quickly. And when they starve, it's your fault. When they starve or fight for food or territory, it's your fault because you fed them. See, the problem with raccoons and feeding them is there is not a square inch of territory where raccoons can live in this entire United States that is not already completely saturated with raccoons. They're really that prevalent. So you really shouldn't feed them. I brought it up because there's one island where there's an isolated community of them that just live in a certain type of conditions. They're already exposed to, they're completely isolated from other raccoons. They're out and they're constantly being fed by humans and get a lot of interaction with humans because humans camp out on that island every day, day and night, 24/7. As long as the weather's nice, there's people there. And being the small island that it is, they get real close contact with people. So, like, the only solution in that situation, you're not going to eradicate them. The best solution there is to teach people not to feed them junk food and get some locking lids on the trash cans. You know, like, they got trash cans designed to withstand wildlife, keeps bears out type shit. Well, you can't feed them. You can't feed them at all, because they will get dependent on you, and they will breed like rats because there's an extra supply of food that they're not used to. It's not even a worry about you getting rabies from them or anything like that. And it's like, there's really not a lot of rabies around anymore in the US. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, it's still around, but it almost got eradicated, you know. That's not really the big fear, especially if it's an isolated community that you can see their behavior, like you'd recognize a rabid one, you know. But you know, the danger is in that they're going to overpopulate even more. They're already overpopulated, and they're going to breed more because there's more food available with no competition. If they have access to your trash, they're going to eat. They won't come to you friendly to get it, but they're still using you as a food source. So what you can do is burn all your scraps. You know, make yourself a locked trash bin or compost bucket or whatever, you know. Don't allow them access to your scraps. Yeah, it's hard not to like them. They are sweet little critters. They're so cute. It is hard not to. I mean, you gotta love them. But I'm just telling you, most of the food they get from your trash is it's really not good for them in a lot of ways, because not only will they breed like rats, but they'll have a short lifespan and be very sickly because they've been eating junk food. Like, the junk food that's junk food to us is way more toxic to them than it is to us. All the salts and preservatives and sugars and stuff, man, it drastically shortens their lifespan. No, it's okay to have a healthy relationship with the critters in your area, but you don't want them to. Just like these fish, man, I'm consciously aware that when I throw my scraps, they get a freaking food source. But fish are gonna do their thing, you know, like. But I also go where days on end where I'm not throwing anything they can eat. And so they have to maintain their own. They can't just live off me. Sid, what do you mean seaworthy? As in, it's not rated for offshore use. No, it's for bay and inland water use. I've been cruising the coast waters in it and the inland waters. I get enough power in a grinder, dry dockage, and pretty much like 4 or 5 grand to sink into this, and I can make it seaworthy. I've already got probably close to 7 into it. It's what it is, Randy, man. I'll make it happen one way or the other. I mean, that's part of the ultimate goal. Like, it's what it is, though. Like, that's kind of the whole point in this vessel, is to say, here's a way I can live and cruise, sail, enjoy my freaking what I enjoy doing, the lifestyle I enjoy, the outdoors life, get close to nature, safe from harm, very little maintenance and cost. Upkeep is within my means. See, I'm living within my means, you know, and that way, there's the way my life works, man. I sometimes go long periods where I'm just scraping by, or barely, or not even, and then there's this period where it's like 4, 6, 8 months where I'm making really good money, and you know, more than what I cost for my daily living. And that's when I do upgrades. Like, I spend every dime of any of that kind of extra goes into spending it on something that makes my life a little easier, more comfortable, or, you know, just cost less. Morning, Susan. So, you know, the point is, it's like, oh, this reduces my cost of living if I invest in this, you know, or that gives me a little more comfort, you know, but I sacrifice a lot of comfort, and I don't know, to a lot of people this seems like a unstable lifestyle, but to understand my whole life and what it's been, you have to understand that I was never in a stable environment in a life. I never had a stable home until I lived on a boat. From birth till my 30s. Or I guess my late 20s was when I started like getting into living on, late 20s I started getting into living in boats, and realized, like, at first I did it out of necessity. Was like, it wasn't my dream to get on a boat and sail off into the sunset. I was a freaking mountain kid. I was a farm boy. I loved animals and the land. I loved the mountains. You know, I dreamed of living Grizzly Adams style off the land. and that wasn't working for me. And one day I just saved a dude from some trouble he was in, and I had nowhere to go, and he had this big 2-story houseboat, and he's like, dude, kick it there, camp out on the freaking lower levels. You can stay there as long as you need, man. You saved my life, you know? Just like that. And he started showing me how I could get my own boat. Like, he didn't want me to become dependent on him. It wasn't like a couple thing. He wasn't trying to get me living with him permanently. He wanted me gone, I wanted me gone, you know, but I was glad for the space there, and he was glad to have me there because I straightened up his place and made it a lot nicer, you know. Okay, you over there in Texas, Randy? Oh, South Kakalaki. Okay. So, yeah. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If you can avoid doing the aluminum pontoon thing, you really want to go with the um, fiberglass hull. That's a full entire hull, you know, with a V in the front, preferably a V or a tri-hull in the front and flat in the back with, you know, like chines on it. You want it to be at least 8 feet wide, if not wider. And you want to keep it well balanced, man. Dude, you should just do a taco stand on land, man. Like, honestly, there's a lot that can go wrong on the land in a business, and there's more that can go wrong on the water. It's a great idea, but think about it, Randy. Think about it. You're not a qualified captain. Think about the struggles you had just operating a canoe. It's not a novelty, Randy. It's not a novelty. It's not a new idea. There's been people doing it for 100 years or longer, hundreds of years. Floating food service has been around since boats. Like, literally, since boats were invented. Like, that was literally the very first boat was designed to go bring some floating food service. That's why boats were invented, was to bring some food to some people. I promise you, it's not a novelty. Okay? And I'm saying, listen, you had trouble operating a canoe. Okay? You're not qualified to operate a food service boat. Something is going to go wrong. And I'm just telling you, stick to the land. Do the food service trailer. So that if something does go wrong, it doesn't sink. You know, whatever happens, it's on land and everybody survives, hopefully. Yeah, or either that or you got to hire a qualified captain, like a certified Coast Guard certified captain, and no one's going to do that for free. Nor to, like, they might do it. I don't know, man. If you get started with a business with somebody like that, what's going to happen is one day they're going to go, "Why am I doing this for you?" And they're going to break off from you and do it for themselves. You see what I mean? Or they're going to want a full partnership in order to do it because they're the one with the captain's license. Like, even if you were the one that bought the entire boat and put it all together and got the kitchen certified. Yeah, well, just stick with that, Randy. Just stick with the pull behind. That's a good business. Just, just because it don't have to be the same thing. Like, it don't have to be, you don't have to do the captain thing, bro. What I'm saying is make your business land-based like it is. And if you want to go out and like live on the water, cool. If you want to get a boat where you go out on the water, cool. But make that your private life and keep your business. That's my advice to you. You do what you want. But my honest advice to you as a friend is, like, I think you just do great with that taco stand you have. Like, be content with that. And just let it take off. Do what you can with it. And let it be what it, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not really pull up to docks. What you'd have to do with the boat thing is you have to go where the boat parties happen. Like, you have to go to Haulover Inlet, or in South Carolina. Let's see, I think there's like Tybee Island is the spot over there, or something. You got to find the spot where all the boaters anchor up and party every weekend. And you have to be there every time the sun is shining. And that's how you break into that kind of thing. And yeah, again, you don't allow anyone on board. You anchor it up in such a way that it can't swing around or shift much. And then you put your little buoys out, and then you either walk it in the shallows to their boat, or kayak it over, or they walk over to your boat. Like, you're on a sandbar, so it's only a foot deep. And they just get out in their bathing suit and walk from their boat to your boat and go order up. Like, you don't have to be on land, but you need to be in a shallow sandbar somewhere. That's where boaters pull up and party. Taking out the trash. I think I'm ready to get going. Make sure I got everything. No, I'm not ready to go. Yeah. Coffee and cigarettes. Yeah, Randy. Take it easy, man. Good luck to you. Oh, I got condensation on the roof. That's a good sign. That means thermal differential here. That's what I'm going for. Okay. Means I got a good vapor barrier here. Get some thermal insulation on it. And then some solar reflectivity. And I'll have a really good thing going. Alright, let's get going over this way. Oh shit, I forgot to unhitch the door and plug in a lamp. Gonna need that. Gonna need that later. Scheiße. If I don't have one of these lamps fully charged when I come back, spending too much time charging a light instead of my phone. Okay. There we go. Now I can leave. If I can manage to get up here without breaking myself. Yesterday, got together a cordless drill and saw, 18 volt. That seemed to work well enough. Don't have them out here. I don't have them charged. I don't know. Like, I'm going through all the batteries to see which ones will hold a charge and which ones are worth keeping and scrapping and whatnot. But as far as the tools themselves, I have found the power tools I need. Here. Full gallon of stove fuel. Oh my God. Whew. Let's see. Morning, Ivan. Susan, been here. Maxwell, welcome back. You may have heard a chicken. I'm not too far from town. There are people in the neighborhood, I imagine, that might have a chicken around here. I can hear people working on the nearest neighbor's house, putting a roof on it, redecking the roof. Alright. Let's get this shit on the road. Waterway, rather. Yeah, it's not, I'm not out in the wilderness. I mean, I am in the wilderness. I'm just right on the edge of town, just outside of town. So it is wilderness. I can still hear the city. I can hear the cars, the sirens at night on the highway. And it's just there to remind me of how lucky I am to not be in town. Every time I hear a siren out there, I'm like, oh, it has nothing to do with me. Hope everybody's okay. Glad it ain't happening out here, whatever it is. I always think of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood when I'm putting my shoes on like this. Can't help it. Childhood traumas. It's all we had to watch. That or the president. Nobody wanted to watch the president lie. So we watched stupid stuff like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Light some incense to drive away some mosquitoes, and we'll get going. Here is our shoreline. If I had just one wish, Only one demand. Sorry, I have to think about that song when I'm paddling a canoe too. It's that video of him pretending to paddle a canoe. Let me break through this spider web here. Try to get the sun out of our faces here in a few seconds. One of those orb weavers decided to start putting that web across where I go every morning. Figure it out in a couple of days and decide to build it a little to the side or higher up or something. Believe it or not, spiders are smart like that too. They get tired of rebuilding it. What happened? The Python challenge is on. Oh man, I wish I had a Glades boat down there for that. That would be fun. Go round up pythons and make some serious money. You're gonna spend... The thing is, that's not really a prize for... You gotta think of python chasing as like more of a community service. Like you're doing your community action to help the entire state. And if you happen to, like, you're gonna have to invest a lot of money in order to be the person that gets the most. And so it's kind of like race car driving. You spend more money winning than you gain by winning. But it's still fun to win. And unlike racing, it actually has a service for everyone else. Besides just, well, racing, you could say that provides a service. People enjoy watching the race. Some people. I think it's kind of boring watching a race car race. Like, it's fun racing it, but it's boring watching someone race, to me. But some people love it. Just like paddling a canoe. I just wouldn't really get into watching someone paddle a canoe unless they had something to teach me about it. So, yeah, let's see, it's 25,000. So right away, you've already spent 30 on the boat to get there. At least. Yeah. Cause where do you know where you can get an airboat for $25,000? Cause you're gonna need an airboat. And the reason why is because everywhere you go, you can't get a chart. You can't just get a chart and go plot a course through those waterways, because the waterways move. It's like a constantly moving maze. And you go down a path where there's 3 exits, and before you get to the exit, it's suddenly a dead end. Like, it's literally there's floating masses of bog that move around, and in an airboat you just go over them. little patches of land. You try that, and you try navigating those waters with a regular boat motor, and you're just going to get tangled in the reeds and weeds, and you're not getting anywhere. You just get lost. So you're going to need an airboat to really navigate the Everglades, especially going after gators. You're going to want to put something like a couple layers of Teflon on the, a few inches of Teflon on the bottom, so you could skim over tree roots and everything and not get a hole in your boat. So rocks and all that, you need to be able to just skim over all of that with no problem at high speed. So you figure you probably spent already 50, maybe 60,000 on your boat, at least. And then maybe you DIY'd it and you spent 25, 30,000 building it, if you're really good and you really know your shit, and or maybe you got a really good deal and had a mechanic fix it up for you or whatever, and so say it cost you 25,000 just to get the vessel minimum. That doesn't, now you still got to put fuel in it and food and supplies and gear, and you're gonna need a crew. So I guess you could go out and catch some on your own, but if you don't have a crew, you're not going to get a lot done by yourself. Not enough to win a contest. So yeah, just consider you're not really, if you win that contest, the only way you're going to make money for you is if you were already geared up to go hunt gators. You've already got the gear. You're pretty much, those are the guys that are already there in the swamps. Already got an airboat, because that's how they get home. That's cool. I would, if I was living down in there and I had an airboat, I sure would join in. But I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to try to win the contest, unless somebody wants to sponsor the boat and captain, because I don't know how to operate an airboat. Never done it. Wouldn't feel confident taking a crew of people in a boat I've never run before on my own. Completely different way of running. It's not like flying a boat. It's almost like flying an airplane. But it's maybe even more dangerous because airplanes don't fly over patches of water and land. Like they're not all-terrain type of thing, it's just air. Anyway, now it'd be fun to jump on somebody else's airboat and go hunt some gators. Yeah. Well, check out Gator Poke. Gator Poke will go out there and hunt some gators with you, I'm sure. Well, I don't know if he's into hunting them. I know he knows how to find them. And he's not afraid to jump in there and go track them down. I've seen him get in the water with them. And he's familiar with the territory. bright light. Oh, that's the parks guy getting the trash for the morning. I'll catch him before he takes it away. I'm trying to. Oh, my back. Yeah. Bang stick. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know any of that. That's why I don't get into it. It's just, as far as I'm concerned, they're protected. I leave them alone, they leave me alone. I like watching them. That's about it. Whew. Did I get you before you emptied them?
No.
Ah.
I know. It's okay.
I was trying to run up here and get them in your truck, so.
I haven't emptied anything yet.
What do you think got a hold of that recycling bin and tore it the hell up?
No idea.
The animal or person?
Probably a person, but not necessarily.
I was thinking it looked like human damage till I'm looking at the bag inside was shredded though. I'm like, what the hell had that kind of strength? It would have to be a bear that stomped it or a person kicked it. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out, but it was early.
It could, because it could be raccoons.
Raccoons wouldn't have broken the structure like it was.
But, at work, it was around a few years ago. I had a Dodge pickup, and I went in there, wouldn't start. I couldn't get it started. Dropped it, wouldn't start. And then there's shit all in the truck. And then when I noticed, whatever was underneath
Maybe a human broke it and a raccoon shredded later.
could be, and it destroyed the brake lines and I mean, I got a picture. Brake line, and it just the electronics and brake lines and everything. It had to go to our mechanics get it fixed because there's so much damage on the truck. They had to take it to Dodge.
Did you have to replace the whole damn wiring harness probably?
Wiring,
and the hydraulics.
Brake lines, everything.
Man, squirrels did a number on my buddy's van. I had to pull they chewed through the air intake for the AC. And they got down in the ducts and had just thousands of nuts squirreled away. and those got in the blower, and they're bouncing around in there and breaking the blades off the blower, and everything got off balance. And, I'm wondering if we gotta have bear-proof bins, or is it like we need to, what is it? Is it kids or some wacko or what, man?
Probably wackos.
I've seen there's some loopy people that hang out here, but they don't do shit like this. I've seen them going around picking trash up, so.
Who knows?
It's more like teenagers coming in here or something.
They have nothing to do.
Anyway.
It is what it is.
Well, have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice one.
No worries. Yeah, Lake Okeechobee's, you can cruise that lake pretty well, but again, if you're like in the South Rim area, in there's a bunch of floating bogs drifting around in there that make a maze. Same way, like you either need to have a lot of time and patience to navigate through it, or an airboat to just go over it. I mean, airboat can follow gator trails through the marshes. You just cruise through and you see the gator trails in the brush. Let's try that. Oh, sorry. Happens. That's what happens when you have a wet sock for a phone stand. There we go. Try that. Well, folks, it's looking like the end of the trail this morning. Get secured here and go get some work done. Make a little money so I can feed myself. And the pet project. The pet project must be funded. A waterproof phone case. You know, they're really tend to be more trouble than they're worth, because I end up having to remove them from the case to operate them or see the screen. And yeah, they end up, I don't know. I tried a waterproof phone for a while, that was okay, but I found that it kind of had an overheating problem. Couldn't charge it while it was running. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we talked some about the little flexible pouches that have the clear lens in front. Yeah, I'm just in a really super humid environment. I gotta fold over the top and unfold it. Like half the time I gotta have the phone charging, you know, so it's can't have it in the case when it's charging. I don't know. Actually, I could now. I have a wireless charger. Whew. Oh boy. Let's see, what time did I get here? 8:17. That's better than 9:45, I suppose. Alright, folks, I'm out of here. Y'all be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and until next time.